Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's spring. I'm so excited. Daylight savings kicked in a few weeks ago and now it's bright outside after 4 p.m. and that just makes me so happy. The seasonal depression is going away. Another thing that's helping is my new project that I wanted to bring you guys along for. It is the Cardigan No.9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So I already started it. It knit up so fast. Just barely took a few hours of work, and so I had to stop myself to not have more of it done for the intro of this video. But I wanted to bring you guys along for this project and some spring knitting. So a few things about this project first. So it's the not knitting for Olive, My Favorite Things Knitwear pattern, Cardigan No.9. I'm knitting it with Noro in the color 85. It's super, super beautiful. Look at the colors. The gradient is absolutely magnificent. I really love this bright blue, purple, this mossy green. I hope it's gonna come back soon in the gradient sequence because now it's kind of looking brown and a little bit muddled over here. So it's a saddle shoulder construction, which is the first time that I ever do that. It's a little bit unique. You make these two panels over here, and then you cut the yarn off, and then you pick up stitches along the sides of the panels, and then you work up the back. There's a lot more loose ends than I am used to because you cut so many panels and then you cast, you take new yarn and cast on new stitches. So I'm gonna have to weave all of those ends in later on, but that's not, actually I don't despise doing that because usually by the end of the project, I'm so excited to wear it that it goes by super fast. The yarn itself feels pretty soft. It's not that scratchy. It's not that soft, but it's not scratchy. So I think it's gonna be pretty good. I only have 200 grams of the, two 200-gram balls of the Noro Ito. So I might run out. I might be playing yarn chicken near the end. We'll see. I have another plan if ever I don't have enough. The end of the project is basically knitting the cuff, the collar, the button band, and if I run out before being able to do that, I might just add a contrast color, like a solid color, to do all of those elements. I do have an extra ball of discontinued yarn from Wisdom Yarns that I got at a second-hand craft store. It was originally $7 and I got it for $3. It's 100% wool. It's their Poems yarn, and I think it will knit up. It requires 5mm needles, which is what I'm using for this project. So I think the weight of it is perfect. It's just a question of where am I gonna put it in the sequence of the gradient so that it works out together. Or is it just gonna look like a really random stripe of color? I'll see if I put it, but if I do manage to add that, it's an extra 50 grams of length or anywhere in the project that I gain, and maybe I won't need to use the extra color, the contrast color. Other than that, what else can I say about this project? I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna oh, one thing I wanted to say about the color and actually how it's knitting up. So I realized that the gradient depends, like the progressiveness of the gradient depends on how big the panels are. And so now for the back portion, which is a pretty big panel, the back looks pretty stripy, whereas for the saddle shoulder portion, it's pretty smooth. I don't know how it's going to look in the front of it because there's going to be two panels for the right and the left before joining back with the back of the cardigan and then working up the rest of the body. So I think the front is going to look the two front pieces are gonna look more like this, more of a smooth gradient, and then suddenly change into a more stripy portion. I don't know if I like that very much. I've seen other people's projects on Ravelry also look like that with a similar yarn like this. Someone even tried to do, well, they did intarsia in the back, I guess, to make sure that it was stripy the whole way through. I don't know if I want to do that because I think the back of it is gonna look like a very distinct line, and I don't know how to do intarsia yet. So what I might do, since I have 2 balls of the noro yarn, I might alternate balls of yarn for like every few rows. I'll switch to the next ball of yarn, and that way I'll fake the stripiness at the beginning of these 2 panels here. But I'll see. I don't want to waste yarn. I don't know if there will be any waste if I do that, so I'll give it a try. I might just knit the panel with 1 ball and see what it looks like, and undo it if I don't like it. But that's the next portion that I'm gonna move on to after finishing. I just have to do a few more rows to increase for the arm portion, and then I'll cut that and start the front. So I'll keep you guys updated. All right, so I have a little update for you guys. So I finished the right front side of the cardigan, and at first I started off with 1 skein just to see how the stripes would look. But when I got to this blue color, it just started looking way too long, so I had to go back a little bit, and I decided to add a different skein to kind of break up the colors. And I decided to go for this first. I think I'm gonna intersperse it throughout the cardigan to keep it cohesive. And but then I realized that after finishing this stripe, if I went back to the blue, then it would just look like alternating colors, which doesn't look similar at all to what is going to be in the rest of the cardigan. So what I decided to do is I fished out the inside of the ball, like the other end of it, and it was pink. So I took that and knit a stripe. It went into this teal color, but then the teal kind of was a really long portion, so I decided to go for my second ball of yarn, and it started with teal, thankfully, and went into this orange. So I kind of faked the progression, the natural progression of the yarn, and I don't think this stripe is too stark. I think when it's going to be finished and when there's going to be other stripes of similar colors interspersed, I think it's going to look fine. So I decided to cut the ends. There's quite a few left over here from all the surgery that I did, but it's not too bad. So very happy, and it's only for the top, front, and left panels. So honestly, not that bad. I think I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna try to get it to match up a little bit, maybe, since I still have the blue that's at the beginning of my first ball of yarn that I haven't touched yet. So I think I'm gonna manage to make it look a little bit symmetrical. And without even planning it, it's kind of symmetrical to the back as well. Like there's a blue up here, it's kind of purplish, and then teal and orange, and then it goes into this more of a darker blue gray color. And that's the same thing that I have in the front. So I think I really like that. It was not intentional, but it kind of works out. So I'll try to replicate it, kind of, not 100% on the other side, and I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, so I'm about to go to work this morning, but I thought I would show you the progress when there's good lighting outside. I knit quite a bit this weekend, and I made a lot of progress. So last time I updated you guys, I finished the right side, I finished the left side as well, and I joined everything back underneath the arms. The colors don't match up perfectly, but I didn't want it to look exactly symmetrical. I kind of feel like if the blues are good, and if, you know, I kind of like the way that the teal
is in the same spot, but then the pink is at a different spot. I tried putting the brown at the top here, this brown from the random ball of yarn, but it looked way too contrasty, like it was just a solid block of color, because the ball of yarn, the progression of the gradient is much slower in that, so it tends to look like one solid block of color when I just do a stripe. So I kind of tried this time to add a few little stitches of the color within to kind of mimic the gradient a little bit. I think from afar it looks kind of good, and like the one here you can't even tell that it's there. I didn't do that for this. Maybe I'll go back and put a few duplicate stitches in at the end. I'm not sure. I never did that before either. But in the back kind of looks like color work almost, where I skipped a few stitches and then there's a few floats, but I tried to keep it small. Shouldn't be a problem. But I love the way it looks so far. I really want more color in my wardrobe when I do my knits. So yeah, I have this much of the noro left. Not bad. I started with this ball, so now it's smaller, and then ended up with my last strand coming from this one. So I'm continuing with this one for now. I think very soon I'm gonna stop using this one and I'll join a sleeve back on and knit a sleeve to see how much I use. This is like almost 100 grams when I weighed it last night, and this is 170 grams left. So we'll see. So I used up around a little bit more than 100 grams to do the top body portion. Is it gonna be 100, and then a little bit less for this? But then I also have the collar and the cuffs and everything. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough, but we'll see. So I'll keep you guys updated.
Okay, so I haven't moved on to the sleeves just yet because I've been enjoying knitting the body portion because it's so mindless. I could just go back and forth without counting any rows, no increases. It's pretty nice. And I didn't want to add on another ball of yarn because I'm going to keep this one attached until I figure out how much yarn I need for both sleeves. I measured my yarn weight, the weight of the yarn that I have left, and I have about 250 grams left. So I used about 150 for this top portion. I wonder if this part is just going to take me 50 and then 100 per sleeve or something like that. I hope I'll have enough for the cuffs and everything, but we'll see when I get there. So I'm gonna knit a little bit more of this and I'll move on to a sleeve to see how much yarn I use. The stripe progression did change since I started and I joined with the back, but it's not too bad. I think if I didn't do my trick at the beginning, it would have been even more of a difference. So it went from, like, for example, like the blue here, it's 2 rows, whereas this is like 4. So it's like the teal part around 3 to 4 rows. But I think that's the best I could get. I don't want to go back and fix that. I think the progression is fine, and the back is pretty similar. If I show you the back, I don't know if you can see, but it's also similar in terms of progression. And I like it, honestly. I also managed to slip in some of the extra random yarn into the mix without it being too apparent, so I have a little bit of that left. The color gradient for that one is much more different, so I'll try to sneak it in with like the pink and in the purple, like within that gradient. I'll stop with the noro and then I'll insert a bit of the poem yarn and I'll move back to the noro in the same color. So that's gonna be a little bit less stark of a difference, I hope. But yeah, I've been enjoying knitting this part, so I didn't want to go and do the increases and everything for the sleeves just yet. I've been watching a lot of BTS content, so because they came back at the end of March, And yeah, so it's been really nice to just knit and watch all the new content that they put out on Netflix and listen to the album. I've been a fan for so long, and they just came back after so many years, so I love it. I managed to score tickets to their Toronto concert on like a secondhand ticket website because I did not manage to get it with the Ticketmaster sale, the general sale. That was crazy. If anyone lived that as well. But yeah, so today I have a little bit of a day off. I'm gonna do some more knitting. My hands are cramping up again though. I don't think my endurance is what it was before. So I might move on and I'll practice a little bit of saxophone because I'm in my high school band again. For like the seniors that graduated. I'm one of the oldest people, but I decided to go back because it's a nice break from work and staying home. So I got a few pieces to practice. Not that good anymore. I don't have a lot of stamina anymore. So I really gotta practice because I think I'm gonna be like the only saxophone player that's been there for most of the practices. So a lot of the solos is gonna depend on me, and I'm quite nervous about that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna practice. I haven't practiced in like a month, maybe 2. So yeah, let's do that. All right, so it's 420 today. Happy 420 for those who celebrate. I have an update about the cardigan. So the last time I left off, I think I was about to start the sleeves. I knit quite a bit of the body already, but I decided to see how much yarn I have left to do everything and see if I have enough for the collar and button band. So now I'm done with the 10 repeats of the sleeve decreases on the left side only. I wanted to try it on to see if I need to do some more rows before doing the cuff. I'm also hesitating to see if I should put the stitches on hold and do the cuff later to see if I have enough for the cuff. But I think I will be okay for at least for the both cuffs because I still have this much yarn from the first ball and this is how much I have left for the second ball. This is all I have left to do the whole cardigan. I think it's gonna be okay, but we'll see. In total it's 400 grams. I've made a bigger cardigan that took 450 grams and it was much looser and bigger, so I have high hopes. So I think in terms of the length, it's gonna be perfect. I don't think I need to do more. It's gonna lengthen a bit with blocking as well. And I have they said 7 centimeters for the cuff portion. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I like how the colors are looking. I managed to sneak in a little bit of this bright pink here, light pink, pastel pink here for the from the other random ball of yarn. I think I'm gonna keep sneaking it in this lavender purple that is already in the noro yarn. I realized that I made a mistake actually at the very beginning of the project. They don't tell you which side the stitches from the saddle shoulder little panels, the stitches on hold are supposed to be. So I put them as if they were gonna be picked up again for the collar. But then I realized in the pattern that it's supposed to be on the other side and there were supposed to be stitches here to pick up. So I had to pick them up again, and hopefully for the collar portion, it's the same amount of stitches that I need, or else I'm gonna have to like add an extra in between or cast on extras in the back. I don't know what's gonna happen, but anyways, it's too late to restart now. I'm not gonna go back and everything is joined and picked up from here. The front and the back panels all start from this square. So don't make the same mistake as I did. Put the stitches on hold for the shoulder portion. But I really like how smooth the gradient looks from the saddle down. Kind of picked up the same sort of color gradient before continuing, so that's pretty nice. It's a bit tough to travel with 2 balls of yarn attached to the project, but this one is getting quite small now, so it might just be 1 ball very soon. I'm excited. Hopefully I'm gonna get to wear it. It's gonna be May soon, so in Montreal it's still pretty cold actually. Like the last week it rained the whole week. It was really dark and gloomy. There was finally some sunshine this weekend, so everyone was out, even me. I'm usually a homebody, but I still managed to get a walk in, and yeah, hopefully it's still gonna be a little bit cool during the evening so that I can wear this, because I don't know, I think I need a few more weeks to finish this at least. I'm not that fast and my arms are getting tired again. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that I don't have any stitch markers, and a helpful tip for people that don't want to buy specific stitch markers, I use paper clips that I've had for years, and kind of just snap them a little bit more shut so that they don't escape. For this weight of yarn, I think it works pretty well. It never fell off since the beginning, and it helped me count my decreases. And I like how it looks actually. Just homemade stitch markers. Alright, so update time. It's now the beginning of May. It's still abnormally cold here in Montreal. Somehow we had a few good days of real spring, and now it's back to being like 7 degrees Celsius and too cold, which is good for me because I still haven't finished this cardigan. It's feeling actually quite warm right now with the wool. I finished the right sleeve this morning, did the bind off. It's looking really nice. I actually did it after fishing the other end of the yarn from this last ball that I have. So the other end is still connected to the bottom. I don't know if I have enough yarn left. I have this much of the noro yarn, and I have my scale right here. It's 55 grams of yarn, and I still have to finish the bottom a few rows and the ribbing, and then the button band and the collar. I still have quite a bit of this poem yarn. It's 26 grams. It's kind of hard to put this into the gradient where it makes sense. I've been putting it in the purple, like in the middle of the purple, so that it kind of blends a little bit better. And that's been working well, but I don't know how much more of the purple portion is left in this part, so I don't know if I'll fully use this ball of yarn. So that gives us at most 80 grams to finish the whole thing. I guess, like I measured it at some point after finishing one sleeve. I used 70 grams for a whole sleeve, the left side, I think. So if you take like all of this length and make it like a panel, I think it might work. It's just gonna be a little bit of a surprise. At most, what I can do is I have a little bit of this similar green yarn from another brand that I might put in. I'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think we'll truck along. I think I'm gonna keep it a little bit shorter. Like I think I'm gonna be almost set to do the ribbing. It says to measure, it has to measure 48 centimeters. I think I hit like 42, but it's looking good. I'll remeasure it to make sure. But I think it's gonna block out the perfect length. I have a shorter torso too. So yeah, I'm excited to see the end result. It might be a few more weeks of work. I tried making avocado seed buttons recently because I saw it online. It did not work out. They all split in half after I tried to carve out the holes in the middle. They just broke in half after drying out, except for one. So I still have to find buttons for this project, but I'm excited to do that. I think I'm gonna go for like some natural wooden grain buttons. I'm excited to find that. I'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully I have enough yarn. I don't like playing yarn chicken, but this is the reality right now, or else it's gonna be another 200-gram ball of yarn. I don't need 200 grams to finish this project. So I am being stubborn. I don't wanna buy another one. We're gonna make it work. So this is the project now. I basically finished the bottom. That's the bottom. And I did the bind off. That was the hard part, actually. That's the part that I hate the most of any knitting project, basically. Doing the bind off. I did the Italian tubular bind off and I ended up doing it too tight once I got home. It was fine because I started it at the cafe, but then when I got home, I guess my tension changed and I was watching a movie, so then I tried to pull it to loosen it up and then it snapped. Like the bind off row just completely snapped at two places, so I had to undo that. At least I'm used to it. It wasn't that hard, but after that I found out that I could just bind off in sections, so I didn't have to undo the whole thing, and it doesn't appear to be like chopped up and different sections, so that's good. I'm now at the left side of the button band, and so now I only have the right side button band left to complete, and then the neck collar, and I'll be done. I'll weigh the yarn. I don't have it next to me right now, the scale, but I'll weigh it. I think we're gonna manage. I've been using a lot more of the poem yarn to sort of balance it out, like the this pink section here that's a little bit more salmon colored is not part of the noro yarn, and then the brighter fuchsia pink is part of it. But I think it works well, honestly, in the whole gradient. You can't really tell that it's a different ball of yarn completely. So yeah, I'm excited to finish it. It's all, so Mother's Day was the 10th, was it? May 10th? Yeah, today is May 11th, so mid-May I think I'm gonna be able to finish it. It's still pretty cold here in Montreal, so I was wearing a jacket yesterday. I think this could be a jacket for early summer, so I'm excited. I still haven't found any buttons. I wanted to go and see if I could find buttons yesterday, but I didn't end up going to any markets that sold any. So we'll see what I do with that. I think I'm still going for that wooden look because it's so busy in terms of color already. I don't want to add more color. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated, probably the final update with everything done. So it's a few days later now and I finally finished the cardigan. I did not block it yet, but I did manage to weave in all the ends because that's not something that I mind. Like I said, I'm just excited for it to be done. So I weaved all the ends in, except for a few actually at the button band area, because actually this is all the yarn that I have left of all the yarn, the noro and the poem yarn. So I'm gonna use it to weave in the buttons, but I have a few ends here that are quite close to the button band that I will just move underneath and use it as well to fix it. So I think I have like four ends left to weave in. This is the cardigan pre-blocking. I love how the colors turned out and how the poem yarn just also merged in with the gradients. I do need to block it though because the ribbing is a little bit, it's pulling on the rest of the fabric. This is the back. All right, so it's time for the final thoughts about this project. As you can see, I'm wearing it and it's all blocked. The ends are sewed in. The buttons are also sewed in, so it's completely finished. It's May 25th, I think, today. Still cold enough for me to wear. I think it's 13 degrees Celsius outside right now, a little bit rainy. But I think I'm gonna manage to wear it just for a few days before summer kicks in. Yeah, I have a few things to tell you about this project. So as you know, I knitted it in noro yarn, noro ito, and I used up 2 entire balls of it. This is all that I have left, which is crazy. I do not have any extras. Like, I have like little pieces of it and some yarn scraps that I cut off from sewing in the ends. So I won Yarn Chicken. It was very close. I didn't know if I was gonna make it, but it turned out good. In terms of the price of the whole thing, basically I paid for 2 balls of noro yarn. It was $120 Canadian for 2 200-gram balls of noro, and I had a $3 ball of poem yarn. The buttons were $10. I got them on Etsy from a Canadian shop because I didn't find anything that I liked at my local yarn store. They're made of wood. I want to show you. They're really pretty. I like that it kind of matches the dark brown in the project. So in total, the project costed me $133, around that Canadian, and with the 2-month time that I spent working on it, for sure. But I'm so glad I did not have to buy a third noro ball of noro, because then it would have been even more, like $180 of yarn, which is over my budget, which I was gonna allow myself to do. So everything worked out for the yarn portion. I really love how the noro feels. You can barely even tell, like when you pass your hand over the yarn, if there's a difference with the poem yarn. It really melted together perfectly, and the color scheme is really nice. The back, I can show you a little bit the back. For sure, you know, the stripes are different sizes, but that's fine for me. Honestly, I don't mind it that much. I love how colorful it is. It makes me happy to look at it. For me, it's a perfect spring outfit. And so in terms of a few notes that I had, the first thing that I wanted to mention was that, you know, it's only my second time making a cardigan like this, and I forgot how not portable this sort of project is, because I like to go to cafes to knit and stuff, but the size of the noro yarn, like the ball of noro, is huge because it's 200 grams, and then as you knit, the sweater also gets huge. So in my project bag there was not enough space, and I had to carry it in like you know, it was huge to carry around. So I only brought it outside once. I think it was mainly at home project, which is fine. I like to stay home as well and watch YouTube and Netflix and knit at the same time. So it was not very portable. Next thing, I made the mistake, like I said, for the saddle shoulder, which I basically joined it flipped around, and the ends were supposed to be on the other side here. But it worked out. Like, I managed to pick it up, and I think I knit together some stitches. Oh no, I didn't even have to do that. I basically just passed my needle through the loops that were pre-existing, and then I casted on new ones I picked up new stitches where it needed to go, and just broke the yarn where I had to. So it worked out. I didn't waste any yarn there. But don't make the same mistake as I did. I didn't know it's my first saddle shoulder. Next thing, my gauge. So basically, I knit the size small with the recommended needle size. I don't really do the gauge swatches correctly. I just knit like half of the amount of rows, and I measure it. I don't block it. So the gauge turned out to be a little bit bigger than what was specified for 10 times 10 centimeters. I had 15 stitches times 20 rows instead of, I think it's 16 stitches times 23 rows. So my project probably ended up a little bit bigger than what it was supposed to be in the size small. I did just measure it, and so the circumference is 114 centimeters and the length is 50 centimeters. So I think it's shorter than what it's supposed to be, but I kind of like a shorter fit like this. So it's more baggy, and when I blocked it, I don't have a blocking mat and I didn't really measure. So then the first block for the sleeves, I pulled it out. Like I pulled the sleeves to be completely extended, and then it ended up being way too long. Like it covered my whole hand. So I managed to re-wet the sleeves and smush it back, and now the length is really good for me. It's a little bit oversized, but that's perfect. So yeah, so I guess I didn't waste any yarn doing the gauge swatch with blocking too, but maybe I should do it next time. All of my projects kind of end up slightly baggy when I don't swatch correctly. I also made the mistake, well, not a big mistake for me. For sizes extra small and small, there's 5 buttonholes. There's supposed to be 5 buttonholes according to the pattern, and the rest of the sizes it's 6. I somehow miscalculated, and then I put 6. So it's fine. I really like the look of multiple buttons on the front. I think it's spaced out correctly anyways, so you can't really tell that it's a mistake. But just read the pattern properly if you want the 5 buttons. But I ordered 6 buttons, so it was fine. So yeah, that's pretty much what I had. Let me see here. For sure, you know, this is really, really colorful, and I don't think I'm going to wear it, you know, all the time. It's very loud in terms of a project. I think I'm going to get a lot of looks outside because everyone just basically wears neutrals in this town. But I'm really happy looking at it. It was really nice to work with. So I am really happy. I'm really satisfied with this project. I recommend the pattern if anyone hasn't done it yet. It's really easy to follow. Just the thing with the saddle shoulders, that's pretty much it. The buttonholes were really easy, and you can really measure honestly to the size that you want. So yeah, I'm really happy. I'm glad you guys followed me along for this project. Hope to see you guys soon. Have a great day.